All right. Okay, everybody. Great. Thanks for tuning in here. My name's Hunter Willis, and we've got the feature all queued up for you. This is our August product update roll-up. And in case you missed it, for the updates that have happened with Apptio's products for the month of August, it's Wednesday, September 8th, and we're going to go ahead and just dive on into everything here. Today, as with every feature, what we do is we roll up the features that have been released for the Apptio One product family, and then we talk about the Cloudability family of products, and then we dive into planability/target process and what is new with that. And then today we've got a great conversation with the product manager for Apptio One Demand, talking about what's new with that, as well as what's coming with Apptio One Demand. It's a newer product that was released here this summer, and so it's only been out for a little bit, and we just want to highlight that and let you know what's going on with it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on in. So for ServiceNow, we'd announced before some data integrations with ServiceNow from Apptio One, and the egress and the ingress are now both complete for that. So you can see Apptio One data in ServiceNow and ServiceNow data in Apptio One. So really, really great that those are both complete. And again, there is an app in the ServiceNow store to make that process easier for the integration of both applications. There's also the prescriptive cost models to allocate cost using predefined data-driven allocations. What that means basically is that there are some basically preset cost models that you can set up in Apptio One now. So before, a lot of times our customer success team would come in there and help implement those and basically like work up solutions with the customer. And now instead of having to go through that process, we've implemented the technology to go ahead and let our customers basically have that as an easy process where it can just be imported and used in the solution. So there's been a lot of work going into that, so thanks for our team that was involved with that. And then we've also got integration with Apptio One Demand into the CT. So basically, there's a lot more integration with that. There's a lot more coming with Demand here as well, so we'll be talking about that some too in just a few minutes. For IT planning, the tracking in IT planning was implemented in the last release, and we've made it a lot easier to sort that information. Now you can basically filter that by column, and then there's some easier navigation with that as well. There's basically easier ways to access the delete, archive, and switch to different plans options there too. So next, for Cloudability itself, there is a new blog post out for Cloudability around Kubernetes. Okay, so it's really talking about economic principles, unit economics with Kubernetes, how they interact, and highlighting how Cloudability can basically help you manage the cost management of Kubernetes in the cloud for your various cloud platforms. So that's going to be really exciting. There's a lot of value in that too. So definitely check that out. We've added a vendor profile page on the FinOps Foundation site for Cloudability as well. So a lot of good information and integration there. So check that out. And then of course on September 16th, we're doing a joint webinar with the FinOps Foundation and Here Technologies. So there's going to be some use cases around that with them too. So really looking forward to that one. For planability, target process, we basically, Apptio is sponsoring the SAFE Summit. Okay, so SAFE Summit is a great conference. It's going to be online this year. I'm going to dive into some more information on that towards the end of the presentation, but we are doing a lean portfolio management webinar with Rigo Consulting for that. And then one of these has already been recorded, but on August 26th, there's a target process Scrum Essentials class that we did with Rigo. And on September 30th, there's basically the SAFE Principles and Target Process class with them as well. Now, for the 2107 release for Target Process, also really good news. For our customers, many of our customers have global organizations, right? So they have multiple instances of Target Process. So now we've implemented Target Process to Target Process integration, so they can basically speak to each other if they've got multiple instances, multiple clusters of Target Process going on. There's also notification rules that have been added for extendable domains, and then quick filters in those reports to make that easier. Now, there's also been a blog released with more details on that, so you can check that out on our website at apptio.com. All right. Great. So that's a quick roll up of the product updates for the month of August for Apptio. And now we're going to move on to our highlight. Our feature highlight is going to be Apptio Demand, as I mentioned earlier. And we have the product manager, Sri Datiseti, on the line with us. And she is going to talk to us about Apptio Demand, basically how it's helping out our customers and what's coming with that solution here. So let's pop on over to that conversation now. All right, everybody. So we've got Sri on the line with us, and she is the product manager for Apptio Demand. Sri, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what that entails and your role here at Apptio?
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Sri Datiseti. I'm a senior product manager here at Apptio, and I own the Apptio Demand product. So I joined the company like a couple of years ago, and I took it from an inception to requirement gathering, developing the use cases for it, and finally we launched the product a couple of months ago. So yeah, I'm excited and to be here and sharing more with you.
That's great. All right, fantastic. Thank you. Cool. Well, let's do it then. Let's talk about Apptio Demand and what it does for our customers and kind of how it works, right? Can you kind of elaborate on that for a little bit for us and everything that you've been doing over the past couple of years, right? Because this is a lot of work has gone into this. We've taken a lot of customer feedback with everything that Apptio does, right?
Yeah, on a very high level, if I have to like explain the business use cases that we are trying to solve with this product is like number one, help like business unit understand their upcoming consumption costs and its variance to previous year, and also like help the service owners aggregate demand for the upcoming period and its variance to like previous year. Well, that's a lot of words, so let's just translate into an example. Say that I am IT organization service owner, and I want to understand the demand for the next year, right? I'm doing the budget for next year, or like even like trying to make sure I have enough resources for it. One, like usually what organizations do is they just take last year's numbers and add a little bit buffer, like 5% to 10%, and just go with it. And usually it's okay, it works well. But sometimes just assume like seasons like COVID, where like a lot of employees just started working from home, or like there's a lot of shift in the business of how they operate, right? Like when things like that happen, you need to like look at see like, is this just buffering good enough? And sometimes the answer, or most of the times the answer is no. Say like, for example, just switching the roles, and if I'm assuming the role of the business unit owner for sales organization, right? Say that I rolled out Skype for only 50% of my organization last year, but since everyone is working from home, I want to roll it out for the rest of my organizations. That means that I want to submit that demand to IT, letting them know like next year there's going to be like a 50% increase in consumption of those Skype accounts when compared to last year. So this is the dialogue that we want to enable the service consumers and the service providers to have, so that one, from a business unit perspective, they are aware of like how much they're consuming, what the costs are looking like, and if it is something charged, like they can be charged, but this is more to like even get the conversation going. And from a service owner's perspective, now they're much more prepared to like, number one, like include this in their budget, so it's budgeted for. And then even from the resourcing perspective, they're like much better prepared to provide these resources for the businesses and their like ever-changing demands, and keep the process as agile as possible.
Yeah, and this is really fantastic. When I first read this product description and saw it was coming out, I was really psyched because I'm so big. I actually have another podcast I do. I'm so big on the soft side of IT operations and how all of this works is those communications, right? But also, just as you said, and what demand is doing, keeping track of how people are consuming those IT services and what the needs are, right? Having an ability to analyze that and forecast accurately. Because just a little bit, right? We're saying, okay, maybe, they're tweaking, they're guessing 5 or 10%. That's a little bit. But when you can make that 5 or 10% down to like, a 1 or 2% difference, for instance, maybe some of our customers can do, that could be like tens of thousands or more dollars a year in the budget, right? And some of our customers that are global, that's like millions of dollars in some cases, depending on the size of the organization, right? That's a lot of value.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of time, this is like a missed investment, right? You could take this money that you just budgeted for this services that are never being used or consumed or ever been planned for, and take that and put it in an investment that it makes much more value to the business and make it much more useful rather than just doing an approximations around all this. So that's definitely the idea and the backbone for what we have identified. When we looked at a lot of what are the customer challenges currently in the demand planning processes, the three main things that we have identified are number one, like strained processes. Just like a lot of organizations need to do it every year, but one of the biggest source of doing this, the framework of doing this is Excel. So they just send out an Excel, just gather this information. It's a huge data set to like manage in Excel. And also it's number one, it's like error prone. It lacks precision.
Yeah.
It's very error prone and it's a very tedious process. And it takes like weeks, if not months to like get through the process every year. And since it's so complex, there's very little agility. Like if you have to do it again, you just like think twice, do I need to do it again? Is it really required? So the main challenges we've definitely found are like strained processes, lack of precision, and poor partnerships. Business doesn't understand why it's getting charged so much, and service owner like we have no idea like why are you consuming so much. So like
Right.
these are the main things that we've identified and something that we wanted to address using the demand planning product. So we provide a framework where the business units and service owners can like easily collaborate by like sourcing this demand for the services that the business plans to consume for the upcoming period directly from the business and use that information, provide that aggregated view for the service owner, then go ahead and like help them do the planning.
So not just, it's not just, again, it's not just about that financial forecasting. It's also about, man, really reducing the amount of effort and labor hours, right, that are involved in calculating all these numbers. And also on top of that, right, using that forecasted money that you can save and that time that you're saving, not just as investing in other tools, right, but it also means that you've got more confidence in your existing budget to say yes to your
Yeah.
consumers, right? You can let them do more and let them feel like they're getting more value out of the IT departments because they are, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's definitely one thing, right? So when you look at the numbers, like demand is one aspect. Once you get the demand from the business consuming it, that can be an input to how you can set the unit rates for the upcoming period. So that's what will translate into the budget. So now at this point, you not only have like a budget that's accurate, it's actually very defensible because now you can say that, okay, I build this budget based on the input from like this business unit requesting this. So your budget translates from being something that's approximation to being a very defensible like budget, and that's powerful. So
It is truly, truly. All right. Well, Sri, is there anything else that you would like to add about Apptio Demand before we sign off the conversation here? This has been really, really great. It sounds amazing. Again, I'm really excited about this and to see how our customers are implementing it. But did you have anything else that you wanted to add to this?
Um, I just wanted to add, like, so we went GA at end of June, and we have a huge feature set that we are adding for the rest of the year. This is again like a product that Apptio is really excited about and wants to expand to much bigger like use cases that the customers will have. So so we are like continually improving this product. Even the first use case is just focused on the business demand capture.
Mm-hmm.
We are adding in for the technical demand capture use case, where
Oh,
it's
wow.
another level layer into the technical. And going forward, we'll be looking at how we can do service budgeting and help organizations to like accurately set the unit cost. So there's definitely a lot of work that's planned for it, but really excited to get this out and get in the hands of customers to get more feedback on. So yeah.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. All right. Well, thanks again so much for your time, and we'll see you next time we have you on. Okay, Suri? Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. Okay, thanks again, Sri, for that great information and for the really good conversation there for Apptio Demand. Okay, so Safe Summit online again for the Americas. It's going to be September 27 and 28 for EMEA, 29th and 30th of September, and then for APAC, September 30th to October 1. Of course, that's the coordination for the time zones there. Apptio, again, is a sponsor. We're really excited for the content that we've got going on around that. For those of you that aren't familiar, did want to just put on a note there that this is really an agile focused conference, right? Like looking at getting more out of agile processes and how to develop those for your organizations. And this year they have a special focus. Last year there was a major shift to the cloud and agile processes because of the COVID transition, of course, right? That we're all going through. And this year they're kind of saying, okay, look, now that you're in the cloud, now that you've started to implement these processes, how can you get more out of them? How can you get more out of the cloud and more modern approaches to development and workflows for your organizations? So very, very relevant topics. It looks like it's going to be a great conference, so definitely check that out, and you can go online to their website to register. And then, of course, we're doing the TBM Conference from October 11th to 13th. And so Apptio is hosting that conference as well. And again, we have some great content going on for that. Check that out. Technology business management is such a relevant topic in the current day and age, right? So, again, really excited. I'm actually doing a presentation with Matt Giroux there too. So, have to give myself a shout out there. But anyway, that's all of the updates that we have. Check out our website. We have had some amazing webinars this month too. We just did one about our integration with ServiceNow with Chris Van Wessup from Apptio as well. So that's available on our website. If you go to apptio.com/resources, you can see these materials, check out our ebooks, and get access to our webinars too. All right, everybody, that's it for this month. Again, I'm Hunter Willis. This has been the Feature. Take care, and we'll see you next time.